All right. We here now, people. We here. Let's get it in. What's going on? We here with Kayleen Rashidi about to come through. We here with RKT Appraisals in the building. You feel what I'm saying? What's going on, Kayleen? What's popping?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling?
Chilling.
Yeah, man,
feeling good, man.
Chilling. Man, so today's topic, we talking about can you afford to retire? Right? So I guess the answer is no for most people, right?
Right. That is the answer for most people.
Right.
And the thing is, that doesn't have to be the case. And what me and Rashidi do, we try to put people in a better position to where that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's unfortunate that most people won't be able to retire when they should. But we're trying our best to get people as close as possible to those numbers.
Right. And so how much money does a person need to retire though? Like as far as like, or what do they need to do to get there? You know, like what's sort of like the steps they got to take?
Got you. So that's a layered question. So first off, as far as how much, whatever your annual income is, you want to times that number by 20. And that's how much you're going to need to retire.
Really?
You know, 100%. So if you're making $50,000 a year, you're going to want to at least, at minimum, have $1 million to retire with. And I know, you're right. I know it's a big number. If we're talking retirement, if we're talking, and this is not even comfortably, this is just like regular.
Right.
Because think about it. This is a time where you can no longer work, right? And also, you got to think about it like this. When a person reaches retirement, it's not just about their money flow. It's about their health status too. How healthy are you? Are you young and vibrant the way that you used to be? Chances are you're not. So then you got to prep for those times too, to the time where it's a struggle just to go to the market.
Right.
Just to go to you know, to do your daily activities, you know?
Wow. That's crazy. So how does a person, let's say they're making 50 grand a year,
okay,
how do they get to the point where they have the $1 million to retire though? Like what are they supposed to do?
So that's a good question. So two things. One, you have to save, and two, you have to invest. Right. And part of the investment, you could actually do both at the same time. So one, you could save separately on your own, right? Whether that's, I don't care if you put your money under the mattress, I don't care how you save it, but you got to save some money. You got to save at least 20% of your earnings. You should be saving at minimum.
Right.
Then you also want to invest, right? You want to invest to where your money is making money, because if you're just saving off of you putting away money, it's not going to be enough. You have to save to where you're gaining interest with your money, where your money's making money. That's how it compounds. Hence, that's how you're going to have money for your retirement 20, 30 years from now, depending on how old you are.
Right.
And, you know, more in depth, I can sit down with somebody and show them how that works, because what's happening too? Inflation. Inflation is crazy right now, right? So you want to put your money in places to when to where it acts as a hedge against inflation, meaning that as when the inflation continues to go up, your money goes up with it, so you're not affected by it on that level. So then, in other words, let's say if you like, think about it, like if you go to the grocery store and something costs a gallon of milk, maybe back in the 1990s, maybe cost $2-3 a gallon.
Right.
Now today it's about $4 or $5 a gallon. But if you were making $50,000 20 years ago and you're making $50,000 now, it's as if you're not making $50,000, you're making less, because the cost of these items are increasing. So you want to do something to where at minimum you're keeping up with the cost of living.
Right.
That's at minimum. And the two main ways, like I said, is to save money and also invest it. Watch what you're spending. What are you spending your money on? Can you cut costs in certain areas? You know, go through your monthly expenses. Look at the things that you actually need versus your wants.
Right. Damn, that's crazy. Because I think most people, they're not really thinking like long term like this. So like, let's say you have a person who's 20, right? And by the time they're 50, you feel what I'm saying? That's like what, 30 years or some shit. So So imagine if they're able to save from 20 to 50, and then they save a good amount of money. So around the time when they're getting ready to retire, they have a good amount. So if they have, so let's say a person is able to save the million or get to that million, right?
Okay.
What would be your best course of action so that they don't run out of money? You see what I'm saying? Because let's say they live to be like 85 or some shit, they could probably run out of money. You feel what I'm saying?
Great question. So they have different programs and they have different companies that are literally designed for this specific reason, right? They had what I think we spoke about this before. What we call an annuity, right? An annuity is a perfect example to where you won't outlive your money.
Right.
A person can get to that $1 million mark, and he or she will be able to receive checks, like a monthly check, just like a person would have a pension or 401k check, or different, like another retirement, to where they can use that money for whatever they want to use it for. Also, it'll last them for the rest of their lives. Guaranteed income for life.
Right.
Guaranteed. So where they won't outlive their money. And I think that's a lot of people, they fear that. They don't want to get to retirement and not be able to, to live. But with something like an annuity, something like a life insurance policy to where you could borrow your money from, you won't outlive your money. Your money will be there until the day you die. And then not only that, after you pass away, your loved ones will also receive a check to where they'll be okay for a while. And then what happens is you could continuously repeat that cycle, so that it'll get to the point where your family has now created some type of wealth for that family.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And so for those who don't know or don't understand how to do that, right? Is that that's something that RKT Appraisals helps out with? Is that
100%.
Right.
And to be fair about it, I understand, like, when a person can't look past 20, 30 years from now, they can only look at like next year.
Right.
Understandable. In my opinion, if you can't save, okay, let's look at it like this. Let's say you're 30 years old. At minimum, you should have been working 10 years of your life, right?
Right.
So then at minimum, you should at least have $10,000 in the bank. That's saving $1,000 per year.
Right.
That's about $100 a month. If you can't save $100 a month, then you're in trouble.
Right.
And then you have to re-strategize what you're actually doing. And that's just if you're by yourself. Now, if you have a family, if you have a wife, if you have a husband, if you have children, times that number by 2, 3, or 4.
Right.
Just to put a kid through college from the time that they're born until they go to college, you don't spend $250,000 already.
That's crazy.
And that's just over one child. So imagine if you have 3 or 4 children. That's your million right there.
Damn.
So then there's a lot of times when, because and people don't realize how much money that actually comes and goes through our hands, but we're not conscious of that.
Right.
And I think that before we even start saving and investing, I think that's the most important thing, is us being conscious of how much money that actually comes and goes through our hands, and what we're actually doing with it. And like I said, me and Rashidi can help people with that. We'll do a financial analysis with that individual, find out how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, where you can cut costs, and how you can put money towards your future, towards your family's future.
That's what's up. Shout out to you, Rashidi. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man?
Chilling. So what's your thoughts on this, as far as, can people afford to retire? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. My thoughts is no. You can't retire.
Fuck out of here, y'all.
I mean, all of Kayleen points is real strong and real valid. What I want to back it up with saying is, and this is the one that slaps everybody in the face for real, is that we tell people, if you want to know if you can retire, you should go ahead and go to socialsecurity.com. They tell you when you retire, how much you would get in Social Security. So the minute you started working in life, so if you started working at 17, 18, it's a database, socialsecurity.com. They will tell you what you're going to get paid out on a monthly basis to a dollar based off of your salary right now, going for the rest of your life. So that literally means it doesn't matter if you're 20, 25, 30, 40, 45. And when people go to that site and you see that if you keep making the money you make right now, when you retire and you get Social Security, you're going to get $452 a month. It's going to change your whole perspective to let you know that it's dead serious. And remember, this is free information. This is socialsecurity.com. they literally tell you how much you're going to get paid, on Social Security when you retire. So that literally lets you know when you stop working, or better yet, when you're physically no longer able to work. Can you afford to live off of $400? Can you afford to live off $1,000 a month? Can you afford to live off $1,500 a month? Can you afford to live off $2,000 a month? If it's a no for any of those responses, you need to figure out how to not be in that situation. Damn. Because that's why, at the end of the day, why older people always say I'm on a tight budget. It's not just because they're cheap. It's actually because they're on a real tight budget. You think about it logically, when a person retires, they no longer get the job, the 9 to 5 no longer pays for health insurance. Mm-hmm. So the job only pays about half your health insurance, which is about $300 a month or $250, whatever the case is now. When you retire, you're paying $700-800 a month for health insurance alone. And Medicare only gives you 20% of a coverage, so you're gonna be paying, like I said, you're gonna be paying close to $700 a month alone by yourself for medical insurance. So let's do basic math. If you're only getting $800 a month, and Medicare only covers you, and you have to pay out $700 a month, you only have $100 a month to live if you want to go to the doctor. let that sink in real quick.
That's crazy. And we didn't even talk about all the other shit. Don't you got to pay rent and all that other stuff too if you deliver them? Damn.
Exactly.
So I think this is more like I think it's important for people to understand like this is a long-term like situation. You feel what I'm saying? Where it's like you actually need to like think about shit in the long term, which is basically what you guys are saying, that people need to really start their shit like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like start really doing this yesterday. That's crazy. Damn.
And it's one of those things where, the truth be told, that's why you need to call RKT, because the reality of the situation is, and the other thing you gotta look at is that this goes for entrepreneurs too. This is serious business. A lot of us even on this podcast are entrepreneurs. Let's be real here. Mm-hmm. If you stop working about 30, 40 years old, that means you're getting less money when you retire Social Security. That means you probably don't have a 401k. Mm-hmm. So this message also for entrepreneurs out here. Like, don't think just you being willy-nilly, you're just quitting your 9 to 5. Yeah, I'm free. No, when you get retirement age, you will be in a way worse situation if you don't have a contingency plan. So at the end of the day, that's why you want to get an annuity, like Kadeem said. Get an IUL policy where at the end of the day, that works like your 401k and it follows the market, so you can borrow from it and it's tax-free money. So you want to do these things so you can be able to retire at the end of the day, because otherwise what will happen is what you see a lot of times, where you either get put in a nursing home or you got to live with some family member that doesn't necessarily take care of you well. It's a rough life, but it can be avoidable no matter what age you are, as long as you actually stop pretending like it doesn't exist and it's never going to come. And you might die tomorrow, but you might live to 95 years old. So you want to dictate how you're going to live your life at that point.
Mm. So how much, like, let's say, for example, with the example of the $50,000 a year and a person having to, like, you said like 20 times that for like
20x that. Yep.
20x that. So like once they got that type of money, like because you were saying that they would need to have an IUL, and that could make it help them like to be able to have money for the rest of their life, versus let's say they don't have that. Are they going to run out of money? Do you think? Let's say like they retire and then they live to be like 98 years old or some shit. If they don't have the IUL, would they run out of money at this point?
Well, the annuity is what gives them guaranteed income for life. What the IUL does is that when it comes to inflation, when it comes to the cost of living going up, the IUL is going to sustain that because it keeps up with it. Okay. Versus if you don't have that, unless you're making that type of money on your own at a rapid rate, then it's going to be hard to keep up with the cost of living in the future. And people don't see it right now because it's now. But if you even take a look in history until now, it's been shown and proven that because things keep going up, people are falling further and further behind. And in the future, it's not going to get any better. Especially if you just rely on your 9 to 5 job. Now it's not enough anymore. You need a second stream of income. You need to be somewhat of an entrepreneur to sustain your living today, moving forward. And that's what it's really about. I'll put it to you like this. A lot of rich people, they'll have insurance on their business, right? Some have insurance on themselves. But the truth is, you know who needs life insurance more than the rich people? Broke people.
Right.
They need the coverage. Why? Because the rich person can die tomorrow and take care of his or her funeral and still take care of their family. They have trust set up. They have things set up in place already. They don't necessarily need a life insurance policy. The life insurance policy actually is for people with average income or low income. But people don't realize that they're not taking advantage of it.
Well, let's rephrase that. The rich people actually take advantage of the IULs insurance companies.
They use infinite banking. Yes, they use infinite banking.
The broke people just don't have them. That's the actual difference. Let's clarify. That's the actual difference. Because literally, billionaires and millionaires, a third of their money comes from life insurance. So I do want to correct that though. That's really what King was saying, because a third of that comes from life insurance products. You know what I mean? So
no. What I'm saying is this, Rashidi. What I'm saying is that they don't need it. They have it, but they don't need it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. They have life insurance, but a rich person does not. Here's what I'm trying to say. A rich person does not need life insurance. They may have it, but it's not a necessity for them. They don't wake up.
You mean depend. I'm not just saying depend. They don't depend on it. No.
The reason why I say that is because a rich person can die tomorrow and still cover everything that's needed.
Right.
They don't need it.
Money, right?
They have money. The insurance is coverage for people who don't have it,
right?
And they need it. That's what it's for. So the lower income person needs it. That rich person, it's beneficial for them. One, for tax purposes, yes, but the person with low income needs this, and that's what people are failing to realize.
Or middle class,
yes, 100%.
Right.
What are y'all thoughts about retiring in other countries? Like, do y'all know enough about finances in other countries to answer that?
Yeah, I mean, I could take a stab at that. I mean, to be honest with you, that's a real thing. Canada, their structure is different. So America is a capitalistic country. Canada is structured different. So the cost of living costs a lot more in Canada, but they use that money to cover a lot of medical fees. That's why with Canada, you don't have medical insurance, you don't have medical bills. So the reason with Canada, that's why it takes longer for you to get seen in Canada, because naturally everybody does not have to pay full price for insurance or pay for insurance. It's a different structure. Countries like Switzerland and Sweden, they're very rich countries, and their structures are developed to take care of the people. America's system is not designed to take care of the people. That's the major difference. It's a completely different structure.
Right, but we talking about as far as retiring, because this guy is asking if, because I don't know if y'all probably don't know about this whole passport.
Honestly, I'm not too versed in overseas. I'm not too versed. I'm only
so that's what he's. So like, you got a lot of these guys, because we talk about getting chicks, and a lot of these guys love to go to like Brazil, Dominican Republic, DR, so they could find women to say yes to them. And so he's asking if retiring overseas makes sense. Other than retire, you in a lot of these countries, your money is like when you convert the currency
exchange.
You're right. You kind of have more money, but then the other question is, do these countries have IULs and reputable financial institutions for you to put your money into, or is it possible to retire in another country and still hold down your IUL in America?
Yeah, so these are good questions. So the first question is, I don't know about other countries, IULs and stuff like that. That I will say. In terms of the specific question, as far as can you retire in other countries? Yes, a lot of people in the U.S. that's what they do. Not a lot of people, but smart people in the U.S. what they do is stack up their money and move to other countries and change the currencies over, and the cost of living is significantly less in other countries.
But their financial base is still in America.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct.
That's basically the answer to the question. So, King Yikes, if you're a passport bro, your financial base still has to be in America. So your money market accounts, your mutual index funds, all the money you invest in, your IULs, your life insurance, got to be based. So that means you probably still need to have a mailbox in America.
Right.
Mailbox in America, and yes, the mailbox in America, and the next thing too is all a game. So at the end of the day, it's just having like you said, the mailbox in America, and then the other thing, if you're if you're in the U.S. and that type of thing, still having a U.S. passport because you're now a citizen. They can't deny you if you're not a citizen. You just have to have an address where you stay at, and then and it's not like life insurance goes into your taxes. They don't go into your taxes, look at your tax and say, "Oh, you lived here for 6 months." You just have to have a passport and have an address, and you'd be fine in terms of that. I'm not telling people to lie. I'm just saying if you're a citizen, they can't deny you in life insurance.
And that's another thing too. You gotta maintain your citizenship in the United States. So passport bros, y'all could go wherever y'all want to go, but you still need a mailing address in America, and you still need to maintain your citizenship if you want to actually retire and benefit from the financial institutions of a first world country like America.
Mm-hmm. So what's the best plan of attack to start with based on your educated opinion, IUL or an annuity? So you're saying what's the best way to start?
I mean, I would say I let Katie take this one, but my personal take is I say IUL is the best one to start off with, just because that's always generating you money with the stock market itself. The IUL is to set you up for the present and long haul, whereas the IUL is to finish you off. I mean, the annuities kind of finish you off, finish strong. IUL is to start the race, and then the annuities to finish the race. That's the way I always kind of look at it.
Yeah, and which makes perfect sense. I'm gonna expand on that a little bit. And the truth is, it really depends on what situation the person is in. Age plays a huge factor. Your health plays a huge factor. Here's why: because when it comes to an annuity, you qualify with your money. When it comes to an IUL product, you qualify mainly with your health. So there's some people who can't get an IUL, right, because they're in bad health, but they will never deny you an annuity when you got bad health once you have the money to pay for an annuity, right? So that's the difference between the two. What I would do, yes, I would start off with an IUL because the IUL reason why it's better is because here's the reason I'm putting into this perspective. Let's say if you have a $500,000 IUL, right? Let's say you make 3 payments. Let's say your payments are $200 a month. In 3 months, you only paid $600. If you were to pass away, your family now gets $500,000. In that same scenario with an annuity, let's say you put $600 in 3 months into that annuity. When you pass away, your family gets $600. So then there's the difference between the two. Now with an annuity, it's designed to put a lump sum of money so you can receive distributions later on in life. That's what it's designed for. So you can have both. If you can get both, to be honest, you can do both. But I would start off with the IUL.
Got you. This nigga.
I would definitely start off with the IUL.
All right.
And just to segue into what Kadeem just said, to connect the pieces, the reason why you can put lump sums in the annuity is because you have a 401k. Is because you have an IUL. Is it because those are the places normally where you get that type of money outside of you being an entrepreneur, having other businesses and things of those natures. So if you're a 9-to-5 worker, the reason why annuity is big is because your 401k that you have with your 9-to-5, you take that large sum of money and then you put it in the annuity so they can portion out your money. So to Kareem's point, when you're done working, it's almost like you're not working because you're continuing to get a check like you never stop working, except you're not working. You still get a check every 2 weeks you get paid. If that makes sense.
Nice. And then King Yaks also asked, can you guys do a show on hiding money overseas? He want to set up offshore accounts. Do y'all do anything with that?
You watch too many Mission Impossible movies, man.
Exactly, man. Listen, man. You can put money overseas, but that's not our specialty. But more importantly, we can't be talking about that on the podcast, though.
First of all, King Yikes, honestly, a nigga that really got money to hide overseas would not be watching this podcast.
Right. That's a fact.
Yeah, because trust me, your little couple thousand dollars that you want to put a couple G's in the Bahamas, you want to bury it under a fucking palm tree. Like what is that going to do for you?
Right,
like man, like if you got real fucking bread to be trying to hide overseas, this ain't the podcast for you. We for regular niggas over here. But then again, I don't know how much money King Yaks got. I could be talking to a billionaire. Who knows?
Right. That's funny. Oh my God. These guys, he said I got a cool 100K.
Man, throw that shit in a fucking IUL or something and call it a day. Like, hide 100K for what? What you want to hide 100K for?
Exactly.
Because
What I would say is this, in my opinion, that's still, respectfully saying, that's not enough, right? So what I'm saying is you can start.
Hold on, say that again.
It's not enough. So what I'm saying is this, you can start. Here's what I'm saying. You can no, but here, I'm predicating this upon what he's saying as far as like going overseas and putting money there and stuff like that. He said, I'm a millionaire in other countries when converted. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Right? What we can do also is called infinite banking. Now, if you had 100K to put up for 7 years straight, I can show you how that 100K for 7 years to where you never have to put money into that policy again, and you can borrow literally hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. I can show you how to do that. But that's why I said that. But you have to do it consecutively for 7 years straight. I can show you how that works.
It's like, I'll show you how to do this, son. This way you gotta get the appraisal. In fact.
Man, y'all should be getting a call from King Yikes anytime now.
Exactly, for real.
Holla at us, man. Talk to us, man. We're not seriously. We can help you. We can set something up for you. Like 100%. There's no way around that. We can.
Right.
We have options.
That's dope. But now that's how it is, man. You know, this is why I gotta watch the show, because he giving you out that money game. You know what I'm saying? Teaching you how to flip your shit. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be dope, because 7 years will fly by like that. You know what I'm saying? And then you know you'll be good. You know what I'm saying?
Tax free. Touching this money tax free.
And again, no disrespect, but I wonder if PNB Rock had a life insurance policy.
Oh, right.
You know what's funny? When I seen that, I really that's the first thing I thought about. That's literally the first thing I thought about when I seen that video.
Right.
And it was brutal. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, it was the way he was just laid out like that.
Right.
Yeah. That was just spilling out. That was. But that's the first thing I thought. I said, I hope he has some type of coverage.
He got 2 daughters too.
Right.
He got 2 daughters. So I'm like, man, I hope he had some type of life insurance. I mean, but I mean, yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Right. That's crazy. But so like with if people, so let's talk about this real quick, is that what are the things or the realities if a person can't afford to retire? So what are they going to have to do realistically? They're going to have to be working until they die?
Yeah, they're gonna have to eat cat food and work at Walmart.
Listen, man, I mean, this is the reality of the situation. I mean, just put it this way: once you're at that stage, you have no control of how you live for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So you can't retire or enjoy the life the way you want to live your life. Nobody's gonna ever really enjoy the life to the maximum of the way they wanted to. But when you don't do these things, you really don't enjoy your life. So what happens is, they have these retirement communities, which some of them are nice, where it's 55 and up and older, where they have a special income for you because you're only 55 and older in retirement age. So you live in communities like that. You take advantage of programs that help you pay your bills and stuff like that. But the reality situation, so you can live. You're not going to die. Let's be honest. You're not going to just die or fall off the earth. It's not reality. But what your life is going to look like is you're going to live in a little retirement home. You're gonna take the bus every once or twice a week to go wherever you want to go to the supermarket. And then you can only spend about $10, $15, $20 a week maximum on fun activities that you claim to do, which means that you can only go to the movies when it's $6 Tuesdays, and that's the bulk of your life. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the truth. I know it's harsh, but it's harsh.
Yo,
it's a harsh reality.
Wait. So retirement it can be 55 years old. That's retirement age.
Retirement age is really 65.
Oh, 65.
Right.
Okay.
It's 65, but they have communities from 55 and up.
Right.
And that's where it starts, because things happen in life where you get disabled. That's normally the age where things start going wrong, like 45 and 50 is where things start physically going wrong. So they have that age at 55 and up communities. But officially, if everything goes well and you're healthy, to a certain degree, you can retire normally to 65, 67.
Here's the real answer, though. A retirement is not an age, it's a dollar amount. Because if you got $2, $3, $4, $5 million tomorrow, you can retire tomorrow.
Right.
But the reason why they set it up to where, quote unquote, you're supposed to retire at 65 and then live out the rest of your maybe 10, 15 years tops, right? But when it comes to retirement, like I said, it's a dollar amount. So point is, you can be 40 years old and retire, but you just have to have the capital to do so.
Damn, I want to retire, man. Shit, we got to start making some more money. Fuck.
No, literally, that's the answer.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy, bro.
That's literally the answer. Make some more money that you can retire as soon as possible.
That's wild. But it's crazy because I feel like the fact that people don't have this type of information, that's going to cause them to become, one of those people that's like 75 working at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sucks, man. Damn.
It's unfortunate, but a lot of people will end up like that. And the messed up part is the day and age we live in now, the age of information. There's so much ways to make money online. It's like you don't have to be that way, but you really have to start now.
Right.
Like if you don't start doing it now, then 10 years from now, it is going to be a problem.
Right. That's a fact.
People ask me, what's the best time for me to start saving for retirement? The best time was 10 years ago, but the second best time is right now.
Exactly. That's some real shit.
Yo, King Yak said he will call eventually when he fuck up the money.
Exactly right.
That's normally how it goes.
Yeah, after he fuck up the money, they're gonna be like, "Yo, RKT, can y'all help me?"
Exactly. That's how it works. But so, what? Any last words you want to say to people while we wrap this up?
Yeah, man. I guess my last words to people is I always tell people is that if you were to get disabled today and get a disabled income, how would your life look and can you survive? And as crazy as it sounds, look at any disabled person in your family and their income and ask yourself, could you live that life? And if you can't live that financially, live that life, you probably should give us a call. Not probably, you should give us a call.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I would say is do everything in your power to make more money. That is the answer to all problems. Not all problems.
You had it right the first time.
like seriously. Like I don't know not one rich person who's miserable. I don't. They're enjoying their life. Seriously, try any way you can to make more money. Call RKT Appraisals. We can help you increase your income. Give us a call.
That's a fact, man. So guys, make sure y'all call RKT Appraisals, hit up Kalim and Rashidi. Make that shit happen. You feel what I'm saying? So guys, we'll see y'all next week. We'll holler at y'all. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. We gone. We out of here. Later.